Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us. The fantasies, no one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us.
Hi, romance readers. I'm author Leah Busboom, and you're listening to the Brown Book Series with the lovely Shay Baby.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Shay Baby from the Brown Book Series, and as I promised, yes, Miss Author Leah Busboom. Hi Leah, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I was telling you, me and my husband was getting a little confused with the times.
Yeah.
She's in Colorado, so does that mean she's 2 hours behind me? Like, what does that mean? He was like, probably 2 hours. I was like, you know what? It's fine. So I'm glad you got me straight, though.
All right, good.
How have you been? What's going on with you out there?
Well, my third book is almost done. So that's pretty cool. I'm working on it right now.
Well, no, hold on, Leah. I'm sorry. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about these elks and coyotes.
Oh, gotcha.
You live on a farm?
No, I live out in the country.
Okay.
And just the other night, we had 2 owls that came visit.
Oh,
it was so cool. They sat under our evergreen tree because, it's kind of shady and cooler.
Right.
Yeah, and they're huge. I mean, you wouldn't believe the wingspan on these things. They're huge. And they just sat there. It was kind of cool. It was fun.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you from Colorado?
No, I'm actually from South Dakota.
Wow.
I know. One of the few people you'll meet from there.
I was just about to say that. I've never met anyone from South Dakota.
Yeah, well, that's me.
I heard it's nice there, though.
It is. It is. Very nice. Yeah.
So how long have you been in Colorado?
Since 2011.
And what made you move to Colorado?
My husband got a job here.
These husbands always make us move, don't they?
That's true. Yeah. That's very true. Yeah, but I came along.
You decided to come along?
I did.
Yeah, that's why I did mine. I think now he wish I would have stayed, though. So, Miss Leah, okay. How did you know that writing was your thing?
Well, I knew reading was my thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I read so many books. I thought, maybe I can actually write one. So I was working this corporate kind of job, and it was really stressful, and the people were annoying. So I quit. No safety net, anything. I just quit. So I'm sitting in my home office going, what do I do next? And I started writing, and I wrote my first book, and that was in 2017.
Right.
But the funny part is I was so naive. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
I figured out how to publish it on Amazon.
Also, and then Kindle Direct thing?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Uh-huh. And then, you just assume, okay, I wrote this. All these people are going to buy it and read it and love it. And nope.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That was 12 books ago. And I've learned so much since then. I mean, but every day I learn something new, like, maybe I should try this. You don't expect as an author to have to also be the marketing person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always a mess, especially if you didn't go to like one of those big publishing companies.
Exactly.
Kind of doing it yourself. So what made you go the Amazon route instead of, the traditional publishing company route?
Well, at first I just thought, I'd like to publish a book.
Okay.
And, obviously that was the quickest way to do it.
Right.
Do it yourself.
Right.
But the more I kind of looked into it, I thought, I think I can do this. the traditional publishing route, they own the rights to your books. And, it's just, I don't know. I like being independent.
Okay, so you didn't even try to do that. You was like, you know what? I'm doing this is my thing, and I'm gonna be in control from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So why did you choose romance?
Well, I'm a big romance reader. I was the lady who, in college, got all the Harlequin romances every month, and
Okay.
but I have to look back and say, oh my gosh, that's a really tough category to write for. I mean, it's so competitive.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have went with, I don't know. But anyway, I'm here. I'm here to stay. I love romance. I love happily ever after.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even have trouble. I've told my editor this, breaking them up. I'm like, oh, can't the story just all be good?
Yeah, that's a difficulty thing right there. Now I see that you do series. You do a lot of series. So did you start out wanting to do series, or did you just like, I got one book and he seems interesting and I brought a friend in, so now I'm gonna do it together? Like, what made you decide that I'm gonna do just series?
Well, I tell you, I hate to admit it, but I just wrote that first book, just wrote it.
Right.
And then, you start thinking now, how am I going to make this work? Make this maybe even be a career eventually? And I noticed how so many people did series, obviously, right?
Right.
So I thought, okay, let me try a series. And like you said, you can bring in one of the characters from, the secondary characters, now the star of the show. And but my first series was very haphazard at best. I just kind of got inspired by a character and wrote about him, and then the next one. But I've done a lot better at, you really have to plan it out from start to finish so that you know exactly where you're going.
And how to get there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, okay, so how many books have you written?
I'm working on number 12.
Okay, you're working on number 12. Okay, so which is your favorite?
My favorite book?
That you've written. Authors, like when I ask authors this, they're like, Shay, it's like picking your favorite kid. I'm like, everyone has a favorite kid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
it is.
true.
I hate when people say there's not a favorite kid. Like, it is. You have your favorite kid.
Can I pick two?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Your world, Leah. Let's, hey.
Okay. So my first favorite, which that's when I really started planning out the series, was Catching Cash's Heart, about my pitcher.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that book is near and dear to my heart. Okay. And then this new series, The Connor Brothers, I really like Finding You. That was book one.
Right.
Because both Haley and Quinn, overcome a lot of obstacles. And, it's, I would call it heartwarming, and it's good. So both of those are my favorites so far.
So far? Okay, I like it. So, okay. Before we get into the books, here at the Brown Book Series, we have different segments that we go into.
Okay.
One of the segments is called Who'd You Rather?
Okay.
Yes. So we take the characters from one of your books, well, actually the heroes from one of your books, and you tell us which one you would rather, be with, do with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Colorado style, Leah.
There you go.
Okay. Who'd you rather?
Cash.
Wait, no. This is between these two.
Oh, between Max and Quinn. Quinn.
Why?
Yes. I don't know. I like that he finally realized that he was the big corporate lawyer.
Yeah.
And, that was his thing. Like we even talk in a whole section of the book about, he just really focused. He wanted to get with this super high-end law firm and be, successful. But then when he got in his car accident and he couldn't work for a period of time, he came home to a small town. And all of a sudden he started thinking about, is practicing law really that big corporate law firm, or is it my hometown and helping people in my hometown?
Right, but Max was cool too.
Oh yeah, I love Max. I
No.
do. He's my latest one, but um
But you
I
rather
think,
Quinn.
yeah, I do. I think Max was really great. But maybe, he was already in love with Maddie. So there wasn't that, he had to convince her, and he didn't give up. I like that about him a
I
lot.
did like that about it too. I was like, come on, Max.
Yeah, right. Come on, win her heart. He had to fall off a roof to do it, but that's
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, Maddie was getting on my nerves a little bit, but it's okay. Okay. Who'd you rather? Danny Ferguson or Gabe Williams?
Gabe.
Just like,
Yeah, I know. I like Danny too a lot, but what I like about Gabe is, he's got the 2 kids.
yeah.
And they first hire Megan to be like the marketing girl, right? And she has all this baseball knowledge. Her dad was a pitcher.
Yeah.
And Gabe kind of at first, he treats her like, he even tells her, stay in your lane. Don't give me pitching advice, right? But he finally realizes how stupid he's being.
She's like, this is my lane, so I grew up this way.
Right. He overcomes that. He thinks, wow, she really knows her stuff. So I like that about him.
Okay. All right. Okay. Last one. I already know the answer to this, but hey, we're going to say it to you anyway. Okay. Who would you rather? Trey Walker or Cash Warren?
Well, you know what? I do like both of those a lot. But for some reason, Cash has my heart. I think it's because, remember at the very beginning where he mistakes Holly for just a kind of she's hitting on him and she's not.
Groupie. He thought she was a groupie. Yeah.
Right. And he thinks he's the star of the show, right? When they team up to do the charity event, he's like, I'm the big guy, I'm the big draw. And guess who the draw was? Holly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was a good-hearted person. And he was, at that point in his career, he was like making a lot of money, and that's all he was worried about. And she really opened his eyes.
We really did, though. Yeah. Holly was the draw. Cash still, I don't know. Maybe because I was just all into Cash. My interest was him. Okay, so the books that I like of yours, and I'm trying not to spoil it. Of course, Cash was, catching Cash. But that damn Nick DeLuca.
Oh yeah.
I think, and I'm giving away some portion of about, you know what, let me just go right to our next segment. But I'm just letting you know that Nick DeLuca is for me. I just, he's, okay, I'm not going to spoil it because for some who hasn't read the book, but hey, out there, romance land, when you get to reading Melting Nick's Heart, you're going to feel what I'm talking about. You're going to feel what I'm talking about. Okay, our next segment, Leah. I'm telling you not to be a spoiler, and here I am spoiling it. I would rather Nick. I just want you to know. Anyway, okay. So
I'm glad you like him. I love him too. I mean, he's a good guy.
I do like Nick. He reminds me of this Hallmark movie. I forgot the name of it. But the guy, his last name is DeLuca too, and he had a what is the name of it? But he had his own restaurant. He was a chef.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, "Welcome to DeLuca's." And when I read this, I was like, "He reminds me of that guy." Well, but the other guy, he wasn't a TV show host.
Right. This guy was the TV chef. Yeah.
It was so cool. Okay, so the next segment of our interview is called "Name That Book."
Oh boy. What if I fail?
No, it's all your books though, so that's a good thing. Yeah, just your books. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna either read a portion of one of your books, or we're gonna give you the character's name, or something that's related to that book, and you have to name that book.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see. Hold on.
All right.
Getting up in age, these eyesight is not like it used to be. Leah.
I know. I got you.
Okay. Name that book. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get this one. Turning my chair so in order to sit down, I swivel to face my computer and begin typing in Mr. Hotshot's email. Name that book.
Catching Cash's Heart.
Catching Cash's Heart. Yeah.
That's when Holly had just met him and he mistook her for a groupie.
Yeah. He mistook her for a straight groupie. I was like, oh, he gonna hate that. But
yeah.
All right, name that book. I already gave this away. Oh. Chef Nicholas DeLuca.
All right, Melting Nick's Heart.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wrote that as a Valentine's Day novella.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kind of short and sweet, kind of fit in, right? And I have the girl, Bethany, the star of the show for the female side of things. She's a horrible cook, yet she takes his class. That's funny.
That was funny. She took his class for a different reason, I think.
I do too. I agree with you.
Okay. Yes, and it's so crazy that you said that it was a short read, but it was so much personality in it. Like, even though it was a short read, you felt like you knew Nick.
Uh-huh.
Which was good. I was like, okay, she's writing this. This is good. All right. Name that book. Photographer, marketing manager, webmaster for the Frail Tail Hawks. My eye is drawn to this ad and I read on.
Yep. Lasting Chances.
Yes.
And that's Megan.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, that's where she applies for the job, even though she's got all the baseball knowledge.
And that's the thing, because her dad was a baseball pitcher before he passed away. And so you have a lot of baseball references throughout all your series. Are you a baseball fan?
Yeah, big baseball fan.
Colorado Rockies, or
what?
Are you a Rockies fan or?
Sort of. Minnesota Twins. Because growing up in South Dakota, we didn't have a team, so the Twins were it.
Okay.
Yeah, right next door, Well,
I mean, because you're not from Colorado, so I understand that. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, last one.
Okay.
Easy breezy. Haley Somerville.
Finding You. Yeah. And I love the name Haley. I mean, I came up with a lot of H's, right? Holly, Haley. Yeah, anyway. But her backstory was so good.
It really was. Now, okay, you know what? Before you give a backstory, let's go into it. So, Finding You, a small romance. Haley's in book 1, right?
Yes.
Right. Because book 1 came out, then like a couple weeks later, book 2 came out.
Well, I'm writing them as fast as I can.
So, without giving us a spoiler, even though I think I already gave some. Anyway, tell us a little bit about Finding You, book 1.
Okay, so Quinn, he's a big corporate lawyer who gets hurt in a car accident and goes home to his hometown to recuperate. Haley, it starts a little sad, even though it's filled with a lot of humor. She's
I'm sorry. Side note, yes, you are hilarious. I just want you to know that. Okay, cool.
Oh, good. I love that part because some books say they're funny, and then you're like, where was that funny at?
Yeah, I found myself laughing out loud. I was like, let me call Miss Leah. She tripping in this book. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Well, Haley's down on her luck because she's saddled with all this debt.
Yes.
Her mom just passed away. It's sad. So she comes to this town, this small town, Connors Grove. And what I love about her is that none of that gets her down. Right. I mean, she's very positive. And I love how everyone tries to help her. She goes to the campground because that's all she can afford to stay at is a campground. And, they're like, oh, well, if you kind of help around, we'll give you a cheaper rate. And, and then at first I kind of started writing it leading the reader maybe to think Max was going to be her love interest because she interviews with Max, and she's kind of like, I'm not really attracted to him. And then in comes Brother Quinn.
Yes.
You know. And that's where you can really tell, ooh, she likes him.
And you can tell, and that's why I messed up because I read book 2 first.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I don't know what that was, late night. I just grabbed one. Like, I read one of these kind of brothers and see what they're doing. So I read book 2 first, and then I went back to read book 1. I was like, oh, if I hadn't read book 2 first, I would have thought that she was going to get with Max.
Right.
Yeah,
I did that intentionally,
Oh,
but
good. Yeah.
she really likes Quinn, the older brother.
Yeah.
And they have a lot in common, really, right? They're both kind of broken in a way.
Yeah.
And
Look,
it's cool.
her literally, no,
Yeah.
he's like physically broken, and she's like
Yeah.
mentally broken. I was like, oh, poor babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
especially the morning her mom's death too. Like that was like really, her. You can really. It's almost like you was looking at her face, and you can see on her face that she was just like in deep grievation, if that's the word.
yeah. No kidding. You would be, that's true. But, there's all kinds of funny little twists and like the part that someone commented on a reviewer, when she first meets him, her chair's too high. And I don't know if you've ever struggled with an office chair. But
this morning, I was like,
yeah. So he mentions it to her. He says, you can adjust that chair. This is Quinn talking. Right. And she's like, oh, and she pushes on the lever and it goes boom, all the way down. And she's like, here she is, kind of an awkward moment.
Yeah, you can see that. I was like, if this was ever a movie, this would be hilarious. I'm telling you, I was like, I said, baby, Leah is up there in Colorado laughing her ass off writing this damn book.
I laugh out loud and giggle.
Yes, I did. I was like, this is crazy, but it was so cool. Okay, so that is Finding You. Mm-hmm. That's book 1. So book 2 is Loving You.
Uh-huh.
Tell us a little about that.
Okay, well, Max, when he went to the community college, he was kind of a goof off in high school. So he didn't have the best, grades or anything. So he starts at this community college and the professor is Maddie. She's teaching mathematics. Mm-hmm. And he really kind of falls for her, but, she's married. And then, so he moves away thinking, put her behind me. Mm-hmm. But then he comes back home when his uncle has a heart attack and he's going to run their construction business. Turns out, unfortunately, Maddie's husband, died. And so this puts Max in a little bit of a conundrum because, it's like, I really like her. I want to go pursue her, but he understands that, she's probably still grieving and it's hard for her.
You got a lot of grieving going on in your books too. I said, I've never been so happy and sad and laughing and crying at the same time. Like the balance was just awesome.
Oh, well, good. Well, I'm glad because I don't want it to be a downer for people. Yeah. Wait till you read book 3, the one I'm working on right now. It's pretty much just funny.
When is it coming out? Because, I have to have me a glass of wine and just see and cuddle up and read your books, Leah. I'll be tripping.
Like, that's good. I'm glad you like them. That's so wonderful. Mm-hmm. Early July, my goal is like second week of July to publish that one. It's called Wanting You. And this one's about Jacob, the third brother.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he's been kind of standoffish and not really, I think almost at this point, if you've read the other 2 books, you might not think he's warm and fuzzy or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he clashes with the girl in the book. It's more of it's not quite enemies to friends kind of a thing, or lovers. But there's definitely some clashes, and they're pretty funny. I think they're funny.
Okay, well, look, on our next interview, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that. Okay, so we have another segment in the Brown Book series called Dead or Alive.
All right.
Yeah, Dead or Alive. All right. If you were hosting a dinner party and could only invite 5 people from any era, who would it be?
Okay. Well, the first person is my dad. He passed away 10 years ago. And, he died suddenly. So this is probably where I write some of my books from. You always wish you had one more conversation.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just one more time to be able to talk to him. So he would be person one.
Okay.
Now I'm sure a lot of people pick this lady because she's so wonderful, but I would pick Oprah. I think she's so interesting and such a positive person, such a positive influence. Now I'm going to surprise you a little bit on this one, but I would pick Amelia Earhart. And the reason I would pick her is, her plane, she mysteriously disappeared. And in my mind, as a romance writer, I'm thinking, I'd like to know the rest of the story, as long as it's not a tragic thing.
Right.
Maybe she lived on an island. Maybe she had, a good story to tell, and we'll never know it. And no one's ever found the plane. So
really? That's right. It's just like, okay, she disappeared and that was it.
Yeah. What happened to her? I mean, wouldn't that be cool to know? As long as it was happy. I don't want to say, oh, she crashed into the ocean and died.
Right. But not with you. That would be interesting. Like if she, like if her plane did crash and she was on an island and this big islander and
maybe she survived and lived off of coconuts or something. Who knows?
Okay,
so now I'm going to bring up a romance writer because I really like her books. Susan Elizabeth Phillips. I've read all of her books, and she's got a good blend of humor and, some amount of angst in there too.
Okay.
I like her. I really like her. I'd like to pick her brain on crafting a story and, those kind of things.
Okay.
And then you're going to die when I tell you this one, but.
Oh my God, let me brace myself. Wait. Okay.
Okay. So it's a really odd pick, maybe, but I have reasons for it. I would pick Adam Vinatieri. He's a football player. He's a kicker, and he played for the Patriots. He played for the Indianapolis Colts. And the reason I pick him is he graduated from the same university I did, which South Dakota State University, I'll give it a plug, is, it doesn't have that many well-known people, for one thing.
Okay.
And then the second reason I would pick him is, what's it like to know that your foot, your leg is the thing that's going to win the game or lose the game? Right. All that pressure. How does he handle it? What are his thoughts on that? Anyway, it's kind of an odd pick, but I am also a football fan.
That is cool. I thought, that is an odd pick, but it makes you it makes you wonder though. Like, what is he thinking?
Right? Can you imagine all that pressure?
I would think there would be more pressure than the quarterback. I would think there's more pressure on him than Tom Brady because first of all, you're playing for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And you're down to the wire, and this kick is going to either win the Super Bowl or not. Wow.
I think it's that moment of pressure for him. He doesn't play the whole game, right?
Right.
Quarterback's in there, the running backs, everybody else. But he only trots out on the field in this sort of
trots too, right?
In this time of severe pressure. Can you imagine? What if they said to me, okay, Leah, you have to write this chapter in 5 minutes or something? You'd be like,
what? God, that's crazy. That's a nice, well balanced eating table there. I would like to be a fly on that wall there, Miss Eva. Yes, I would like that. Okay. How long does it take you to write a book? Because these kind of boys, you just spit those out. So how long does it normally take you?
Well, when I started, it was much longer. And I'll tell you this is me being honest. When I started writing, I wondered how long does this book have to be? Word count?
Right.
I had no idea. So I got to 20,000 words on my very, very first book. And I thought, wow, yay, I'm done. So I looked up and I thought, what's a typical romance novel? It's like 40 to 50. So I was half done.
Right.
So now I plan them out a lot better in terms of I know exactly I've got all the Connors books figured out. I know exactly who's doing what.
Okay.
I
So
even
you
had to
have a
keep
planner, right?
a character list because I get mixed up. Like, what was that dude's name again? I'm
Yeah.
admitting all these things. I'm a normal person.
Oh, I
Uh,
love it. I love it.
so right now, I'm cranking them out about every other month, I
Okay.
think.
Why did you pick the last name Connor?
I don't know. I don't know. It just hit me. You know, Connors Grove, I thought was a really good name for this little town. And it was after their grandparents, your great grandparents, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Something about that name hit me. And it's funny how I get people's names like Quinn. I've never known anyone named Quinn in my life, but I thought, oh, that's the coolest name.
Quinn is a cool name. Yeah, Quinn is the cool. I love it. Well, Miss Leah, before we ask our last our last question for this interview, first I want to say thank you again for coming on. This was awesome. Like I knew you was gonna be fun. I said she looked like a fun time girl, honey. I absolutely knew it. So let all our readers and our listeners know where they can find you, your social media, your email,
Okay.
not your email, your
I
website,
got a website. Yeah.
all that good stuff. So let them know.
Okay. My website is authorleahbusboom.com. And if you, for Amazon, all my books are right now exclusive on Amazon.
Yeah.
I started out that way, haven't really broke that trend. But if you go on Amazon and just type in my name in the search bar, all my books will come up.
Okay.
So that's pretty easy, you know. Um,
Social
let's
media.
see, social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter or those, Instagram, but I am on Facebook, and it's author Leah Busboom again on Facebook.
Okay. We love it. So you guys go out and get her books. These Connor boys, I'm telling you, y'all gonna love them. Yeah, you're gonna love them. You're gonna love them. And listen, Melton Nick's heart. Listen, y'all go back and get Melton Nick's heart. You're gonna love Nick DeLuca. I love Nick DeLuca. Okay.
I know. I
All right.
know.
Last question.
Okay.
I ask people these questions and they be like, you have to think about it. But here you go. All right. If you were writing a book about your life, what would the title be?
Leah's Grand Adventure.
Leah's.
You know, I really do think your life is like that. A lot of things happen that either you don't expect or you did expect and it didn't happen. But look at all the great things that happen in your life, and be happy for them. And you'll probably find it a little surprising, but I have an engineering degree, and here I am writing romance books. Talk about divergent, being opposite ends of the spectrum.
When you're engineering a book, it's the same thing, engineering, kind of guiding. So,
Yeah. Engineering became less satisfying after a while. I really like being creative, and so anyway, I'm so happy that people are reading my books and liking them and loving them, and woo, that is so satisfying. You just, where on engineering, I can't say that you ever have that rush of, oh, wow.
right. Well, we love the books. I appreciate you again for coming on, Miss Leah. Everyone, go check out Miss Leah Busboom.
Uh-huh.
I said this sounds like she's from London or someone. Leah. I love it. Thank you so much. Again, Brown Book Series. Check out Miss Author Leah Busboom. Thank you, Miss Leah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.